Hello children, how are you all? I hope you are fit and fine and studying well. Children, as you all know, we have completed 9th chapter of your honeycomb book. And we have started few paragraphs of chapter number 10, the story of cricket. And in that paragraphs, we have discussed about the origin of cricket. Children, as you all know, cricket is a very famous game throughout the world. And we Indians love cricket so much. And we admire our Indian cricket team also. So children, today we are going to start paragraphs which were left yesterday. And yesterday we have discussed about the origin and the history of cricket. And today we are going to discuss we are going to read this paragraph. In these paragraphs you can find the rules of cricket. How it's originated, when it's originated. And we have talked about the length and the breadth of the pitch. But the shape of the stadium or the field is in oval shape. And it's not having any specification which was given in the olden time about the field. No any. You can say any measurement. So children, today we are going to start this paragraph which you can find on page number 140. There's historical reason behind both these oddities. Cricket was the earliest modern team sports to be codified. The first written laws of cricket were drawn up in 1744. They stated the principal shall choose from amongst the gentlemen present 2 umpires who shall absolutely decide all disputes. The stumps must be 22 inches high and the ball across them 6 inches. The ball must be between 5 and 6 ounces and the 2 sets of stump 22 yards apart. The world's first cricket club was formed in Hambledon in the 1760 and the Mary Labone Cricket Club MCC was founded in 1787. During the 1760s and 1770s, it became common to pitch the ball through the air rather than roll it along the ground. This change gave bowlers the option of length deception through the air, plus increased pace also. I also opened new possibilities for spin and swing. In response, batsmen had to master timing and shot selection. One immediate result was the replacement of the curved bat with a straight one. The weight of the ball was limited to between 5.5 and 5 3/4 ounces, and the width of the bat to 4 inches. In 1774, the first leg before law was published. Also around this time, a 3rd stump became common. By 1780, 3 days had become the length of the major match, and this year also saw the creation of first 6-seam cricket ball. So children, great history behind this great game. As you all know children, this is called gentleman's game and really it's having a lot of laws and regulation, and it's having its uniform about that. So it's a wonderful game that we also admire. So children, let's start. I'm going to explain these two paragraphs. So children, so because as I have discussed that these paragraphs are based on rules of cricket. So children, rules about cricket were first written around 1744, and it gave the umpires to power to resolve any disputes. So it's you can say that time it was given the power to the umpire who judge whether these balls are wide or these balls are no ball, or these type of the concept were arise that time. It specified the stump to be 22 inches high and the ball across them to be 6 inches. That time they have decided. The ball weigh about 5 to 6 ounces and the distance between the two set of stump was 22 yards. So here that time the specification was given by the laws which will be followed in the few coming years. So the ball weighed about 5 to 6 ounces and the distance between the two set of the stumps were 22 yards. The first cricket club came into existence in Hambleton. Hambleton was the place where the first cricket club was originated in 1760s. The first leg before law was published in 1744. Many of the laws was published that time. And it was around the same time and the third stump became popular. The third stump is popular that time. By 1780 the matches were played for around 3 days and the first 6 seam ball was also created in the same time. It means there 3 days match were played. It was called a very great match. So that is why there was by 1780 the matches were played for around 3 days and the first 6 seam ball was also created in the same time. So that you can see in these paragraphs, you can see the history of the rules and the rule when and where the first club was originated, that was Hambleton Club in 1760 it was originated. Now we are moving to the next paragraph, children. Now next paragraphs are depend on the cricket's equipments. Equipments means is the tools which we can play the games, so that is called equipments. Now if you look at the game's equipment, you can see how cricket both change with changing times and yet fundamentally remain true to its origin in rural England. So cricket most important tools are all made of natural pre-industrial material. The bat is made with the leather, twine and cork. Even today both bat and ball are handmade, not industrial manufactures. The material of the bat changed slightly over time, but it was cut out of the single piece of wood. Now it consists of 2 pieces, the blade which is made out of the wood of the willow tree and the handle which is made out of the cane that became available as European colonists and the trading companies established themselves in Asia. Unlike golf and tennis, cricket has refused to remake its tool with industrial or man-made materials. Plastic and fiberglass and metal have been firmly rejected. But in the matter of the protective equipments, cricket has been influenced by technological change. The invention of vulcanized rubber led to the introduction of pads in 1848 and protective gloves soon afterwards, and the modern game would be unimaginable without helmets made out of the metal and synthetic lightweight materials. Now this is only game which equipments or tools were made with the natural thing. So children, now we are going to talk about the cricket equipments. So here you can say the most important equipment associated with cricket continues to be handmade still today. Handmade still today, because it's only and only in the cricket they are using till today. They are using the natural things. Whether we are talking about the bat and the ball, both are made with the natural sources. Now they are made of the natural and pre-industrial material. You know children, these all tool or equipments are made with the pre-industrial material or natural. Now the bats are handmade of cork, leather and twine. And only the protective equipment like pads, gloves and helmets, synthetic material like vulcanized rubber, etc. are used. So you can see the willow, the tree willow, from where we are making our beds. In the previous year, or you can say in past years also, and till today we are making our beds with the willow tree, with the help of the wood from the willow tree. And the bats are handmade of cork, leather and twine. And only the protective equipment like the pad, gloves, which were in the modern age, they were originated, and helmets, synthetic materials like vulcanized rubber, etc. are used. Now cricket was first played in India. Now these are the equipments which were originated in the past years. So we are talking about in the ancient time when the cricket was originated. Till date we are using the same material for the bats and the ball. Now few changes were there in the past years also. After gradually they knew that these are not very protective equipment, so they just changed something, but most or their priority were there to use natural things for the cricket bat and the ball and its stumps also. And now children, this paragraph has completed, and now the comprehension check is given over here. Cricket is originally an Indian game, British game or international game. Now here you can choose the correct answer. And the second, there is a historical reason behind both these oddities. In the preceding two paragraph, find two words, phrases that mean the same as oddities. Now, how is a cricket bat different from a hockey stick? Now, that we have discussed in our earlier videos, because in the past years, the cricket bat used as or the shape of the cricket bat was like a hockey, or they were just, the bats were curved like a hockey. The bottom area of the bat was curved. So gradually the changes were there, and it will become the simple bat like we are using this. So children, first we will do comprehension check, then we will move to the next part of the chapter. Now we are going to do comprehension check, that is now first number, cricket is originally Indian game, British game or international game. So this is originally, it's a British game. British game. Now next is, there is a historical reason behind both these oddities. In the preceding two paragraphs, find two words, phrases that mean the same as oddities. So children, now let's doing second number. So number two we are going to do, children, the two words or phrases which is used in that paragraph, that is mean the same. Mean the same as oddities. As oddities are, first is peculiarities. And curious characteristics. So, completed children. And now after that we will do number 3. Number 3 question is, how is a cricket bat different from a hockey stick? So that we are going to do, children. So number 3 we are going to write. Number 3, answer number 3. Till the middle of the 18th century, bats were roughly the same shape. As hockey sticks. As hockey sticks. Now, after that, curving outwards, at the bottom. Now, however, later the curved bat was replaced with the straight one. A hockey stick A hockey stick is thin and curved at the bottom while a cricket bat is thicker wider and straight. With the width fixed to 4 inches. Fixed to 4 inches. 4 inches. Now, earlier it was cut out. It was cut out of a single piece of wood, Now it consists of 2 pieces. 2 pieces. The blade and the handle. The blade and the handle. So children, we have completed this question. Now we are moving to next paragraph or next part of this chapter, that is chapter paragraph or part number 2. So the origin of Indian cricket are to be found in Bombay. First Indian community to start playing the game was the small community of Zoroastrians and the Parsis. Now, brought into close contact with the British because of their interest in trade and the first Indian community to westernize. The Parsis founded the first Indian cricket club, the Oriental Cricket Club, in Bombay in 1848. Parsi Club were funded and sponsored by Parsi businessmen like the Tata and the Wadis. The white cricket elite in India offered no help to the enthusiastic Parsis. In fact, there was a quarrel between the Bombay Gymkhana, a white-only club, the Parsis cricketers over the use of a public park. The Parsis complained that the park was left unfit for cricket because the polo ponies of the Bombay Gymkhana dug up the surface. When it became clear that the colonial authorities were prejudiced in favor of their white compatriots, the Parsis built their own gymkhana to play cricket in. The rivalry between the Parsis and the Bombay Gymkhana had a happy ending for these pioneers of Indian cricket. A Parsi team beat the Bombay Gymkhana at cricket in 1889. And the foundation of Indian National Congress in 1885, an organization that was lucky to have amongst its early leaders the great Parsis, statesman and intellectual Dadabhai Nauroji. Now here, children, this is the great history of India also when it was originated. The Oriental Cricket Club was the first cricket club of India, and it was taken by the interest was taken by the Parsis who were very much westernized and very much contacted with the foreigners or Britishers, because their culture are, you can say that they are more similar to the Britishers, because many cuisine and many their apparels or their customs, many more are very similar to the Jurassians and the Philistines, or you can say the Jewish also. So Britishers are, you can say, were very developed that time. And the Parsis, the origin of Indian cricket, are to be found in Bombay. Bombay in the past days, it was called Bombay, but after a few years it was changed. I think it is, we can say it's quite 12 to 15 years back, its name was changed. That was Mumbai. So in the past days, we used to call it Bombay. So because it was given, the name was given by the Britishers. So the origin of Indian cricket are to be found in Bombay, and the first Indian community to start playing the game was the small community of Jurassians and Parsis. Parsis, as you all know, they were much developed than our Indians natives, so brought into close contact with the British because of their interest in trade, and the first Indian community to westernize. So because they were very great businessmen, and they were interested in the Western culture, and Oriental Cricket Club was the first club in Bombay. In 1848 it was originated. Parsi Club was funded and it was funded and sponsored by the Parsis, businessmen like Tatas and Wadis. These were the very famous businessmen, those who were supported or sponsored this club. And the Parsis, maximum of Parsis were used to play over there. And but they were having a rivalry, or you can say they were having a dispute, because in the Gymkhana, the Bombay Gymkhana, in that the polo were played that time, and the white skinned people, or you can say the Britishers, were playing over their polo. Because of the polo, the surface of the ground was not very smooth for the cricket, not very favorable for the cricket, because the hooves of the horses or ponies were by these of the hooves of the ponies were very it became very rough. the surface of it was not favorable for the cricket. So the dispute was that. So when they used to go to the play cricket, they saw over there that because they were not able to play cricket properly over there. So that was the disputes. And the Gymkhana was only for white club. So Bombay Gymkhana was only for and it was having a lot of space. And the white only club, the Parsis cricketer over the use of the public park. So they were using the public park instead of using that Bombay Gymkhana. The Parsis complained that the park was left unfit for the cricket because polo ponies of the Bombay Gymkhana dug up the surface. So the park of the Bombay Gymkhana was dug by the hoofs of the ponies, and that was very terrible in condition. That is why it was not favorable for the cricket. When it became clear and the colonial authorities were prejudiced in favor of their white comparators, it means they were very much, because it was a British government rule, so very much they were favored very much about the white skinned people. They were not interested in the Parsis, and maybe they're having a prejudice about them. And when it became clear and the colonial authorities were prejudiced in favor of their white comparators. And Parsis comparators means fellow countrymen, because of course they were having a discrimination that time also. And Parsis built their own Gymkhana to play cricketing, because there was no choice, so they just made a new Gymkhana for them and to play cricket in. The rivalry between the Parsis and the Bombay Gymkhana had a happy ending, and after a few years they were having a happy ending. And that time what happened, a Parsi team beat the Bombay Gymkhana at cricket in 1889. After the defeat of the Bombay Gymkhana, they just accompanied with themselves, and just 4 years after the foundation of Indian National Congress in 1885. 4 years after 4 years, they beat that Bombay Gymkhana, an organization that was lucky to have amongst the early readers the great Parsi statesman, the intellectual Dadabhai Naoroji. Now Dadabhai Naoroji had played a wonderful role in that. You can say the settlement of this dispute, because 1885 the National Congress, Indian National Congress was founded that time. So that time the Dadabhai Naoroji was also a Parsi person, and he was just you can say he was just took interest in that, and he just played a role for this. So children, many paragraphs are left over here in this chapter. We will continue this chapter tomorrow, and we are going to conclude this chapter, and you just complete comprehension check and read this chapter, because this is very important chapter for us, because we should know the history of cricket, and because it's our favorite game, that is why we should know the history of this great game. So children, till then, bye-bye and take care.